Capricorn, hello, welcome to your summer 2022 shapeshift reading. We're looking at the shape you're shifting out of, the shape you're shifting into, and what that shapeshift looks and feels like through the season or whenever you find this reading. I'm Amanda, I'm your reader. Let's get into it. We're using the Spolia tarot to look at your shift this season. Oh, Cap, I'm excited to talk to you. I feel like it's been a while. I feel like your last reading was a little intense. The spring readings were intense in general. It was eclipse season, I get it. Okay. Let's look at, there's that Page of Cups from your last reading. Okay, fine. We're ready for Capricorn. What's the shape shift? Okay, too many cards. Shape shift for Cap this summer. Okay, Hierophant. Wheel of Fortune. Too many. Too many. I mean, Six of Wands. There's been so much Leo energy in your shuffle. I mean, we will progress through Leo season in the summer, so it makes sense. Yeah, and then King of Wands. So, sure. Okay, what's going on, Capricorn? You have two majors. Okay, let's look at this. The Hierophant, the Wheel of Fortune, the King of Wands. How does this want to go? Oh boy. So shifting into the King of Wands through this Wheel of Fortune, it feels like the Hierophant for me is a moment of almost like divine inspiration. Like I'm looking at that hand pointing upwards, but it's coming out of the mouth of the fish, which is like on the back of this Pope, which I'm seeing as you. So it's almost like the fish sort of represents to me your unconscious, intuitive, emotional knowing, especially since it's on your back or in the back of this person's being. It's like something sort of operating in the background in your emotional being or in your intuitive being that is connecting with your higher self or something greater than you, and like bridging the gap between earth and sky, or between the seen and the unseen realms, to give you some sort of revelation or turning point that changes everything with the Wheel of Fortune, or like just shifts the gears or turns your direction somehow, because I'm seeing it as like a steering wheel, sort of being like, oh, here's my turn. Like, here's my direction, turning you right into the King of Wands, which is this, they're very similar, the Hierophant and the King of Wands. I mean, they almost, you know, they could be the same being. It's just that like, this is almost like your higher self and this is your earthly self. You know, the majors can sometimes be like, for me, these larger archetypes of self, whereas the minors, especially the royals in the tarot, are like very much an embodiment of your physical human experience. So these are, you know, this might be like your unseen self or your spiritual self or your, however you want to frame that, higher self energy. And your higher self is having some sort of larger revelation of like, this is Jupiter with the Wheel of Fortune, like how you want to expand and the directional shifts that you might need to make in order to meet that expansion. It's big picture, something big picture here, Capricorn, that seems to be really reinforcing an identity within you that is like a leader, that is willing to be seen, because this was showing to me as like Six of Wands energy or Leo energy as we were shuffling. So it's like in Leo season here in July, Capricorn, you're making maybe in July, right? Time is fluid, but there could be something here where it's like you're getting the necessary divine inspiration. You're linking up with your higher self and higher vision to make the proper turn or gear shifts or changes in your life that help further root you in like the leader, because this is absolutely like a king, a leader, a young emperor energy. The leader that you are learning or discovering yourself to be. And maybe in the public eye in some way, or like in, visibly in community. People are seeing you as a leader, you're seeing yourself as a leader, and maybe you're getting some sort of inspiration and making some sort of change. It's interesting because you're at the wheel, like this is you're in the driver's seat in this reading. You are turning this wheel. It's like you're sensing, it feels very much to me like you are working with forces unseen and working with this like energy to feel into where the alignment is. Again, with that fish in the unconscious space and that hand, it's like an antenna, and you're like unconsciously feeling for the yes. Ooh, this is cool. Unconsciously feeling for the yes. And it's like when you feel it, it's like bing, there it is, like your antenna, your radar, your satellite is like, oh, I linked up. Okay, I felt, it's like, and it's something that you're feeling with the fish. It's not like conscious, you're like feeling it here and here in your unconscious space. And you're going like, you don't know why necessarily, but you go, this is a yes. You go, oh, hold on, I just found something. I'm loving this, like your body is a radar, because you're like, it's something you have to sense and feel. It's not something you can necessarily think. It's just like it happens and you feel it and you go, oh my God, that's it. Turn here. It's like you're using your spidey senses to direct you somewhere or to navigate. And you're just like driving, and you've got those senses tuned in and you're like, this is my turn. And you don't know why, you just feel it and it's 100% a yes. And this is my turn. This is how you're navigating. This is how you're leading. This is how you are boldly forging forward in your life, maybe in ways that you've never done before. Making new paths for yourself, maybe even for others. Big time Mars energy here with this King of Wands. It looks like the King of Wands is holding Mars to me. It is, this reading is incredibly red. Like, check it out, red. You are coming through as red. And that is feeling like the foundation is very rooted, but it's really feeling to me like Mars, like fire. Action oriented. Getting it going. Let's move kind of energy. And then this beautiful blue in the middle is like the existential shift, the larger shift in your vision that's helping you to make the specific directional changes that you need to make to further come into your throne, to further come into your place or your role, I think is what I'm trying to say, your role in building this empire or whatever it is that you are creating, building. Okay. This is beautiful, Capricorn. You're making real moves in the world, but from this like spiritually attuned space, and it's sexy as hell, and I can't wait to get into it. So Jupiter, I wonder about Jupiter in your chart big time. Where's Jupiter? I mean, Jupiter's in Aries, right? But where is it in your chart? How is Jupiter being in Aries? This reading is like Jupiter in Aries. You know, I know this is a Taurus card typically, but like this is fire energy. This is like, where's Aries in your chart? Where's Jupiter in your chart? What does Jupiter in Aries mean for you? All questions that I have that I want to know the answer to. Maybe you do too. Okay, we need to get into this a little deeper now. We need to use some other cards and some other decks and get to clarifying so we can figure out what this specific directional change seems to be, how you're like sensing the alignment before you make the turn, and what that means for you as a leader in your community or in your whatever it is that you're doing here. Okay, so if you want to get into this with me now, the link is in the description box below where you can find your full reading where we really start to get into this. You'll find it in the shifting space, which is a space specifically created to hold your shape shifts through the season in community with other people who are shifting along with you. There's community chat spaces, there's weekly movement meetups, there's shift check-ins mid-season and at the end of this season. It's a beautiful way to dive deeper and commit to really tracking these shifts over time. So if that sounds like something you're into, I hope to see you over there. Again, link in the description. Let's get into it.